listening to the Holy Bible 1-Year Challenge with Master Storyteller Michael Wood, featuring the easy-to-read version and used by permission from Bible League International. Enjoy the show!
Hello everyone, welcome to day 99. We are continuing in the book of Deuteronomy, and Moses gives the people of Israel a choice. They can be blessed or they can be cursed. They can remember the Lord and the great things he's done, or they could forget the Lord when things are going great. And they could worship the gods of the land. Perhaps those other gods are more attractive. Perhaps more people worship those gods than the Lord. Again, Israel has a choice, just like we always have that choice. And in Deuteronomy chapter 12, Moses gives specific instructions for the Israelites to truly live with the Lord. That they can't just worship the Lord any way they want. There are specific ways to worship the Lord, and there is a specific place to do these things. So if they want the blessings, they need to pay attention to all the commands. And if you got lost thinking about all the different tithes and offerings and sacrifices, Moses really sums it up perfectly in Deuteronomy chapter 12, verse 6. We are also continuing in Luke chapter 12, and Jesus continues to teach the people. And he tells them to always be ready for when the master returns. And those who are ready will be rewarded, and those who are not, they will be punished. And Jesus also starts to describe the fact that he's not here to bring peace, but that actually Jesus' presence on earth will actually divide people, and there will be trouble. And then Jesus gives practical advice on what happens if someone decides to sue you. So yes, there is even some legal advice in the Bible.
If you enjoy the show, visit me at patreon.com/storymaster. You'll find the link in the description box below. By contributing as little as $1 per month, you will enable me to continue this ministry, and you'll get cool rewards too. Together, we're going to get through the Bible in 1 year. Let's get started.
Deuteronomy 11. From the perspective of Moses, a letter to the Israelites. Remember the Lord. So you must love the Lord your God. You must do what he tells you to do and always obey his laws, rules, and commands. Remember today all the great things the Lord your God has done to teach you. It was you, not your children, who saw those things happen and lived through them. You saw how great he is. You saw how strong he is. And you saw the powerful things he does. You, not your children, saw the miracles he did in Egypt. You saw what he did to Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, and to his whole country. You, not your children, saw what he did to the Egyptian army, to their horses, chariots. They were chasing you, but you saw him cover them with the water from the Red Sea. You saw how the Lord completely destroyed them. It was you, not your children, who saw everything he did for you in the desert until you came to this place. You saw what he did to Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab from Reuben's family. All the Israelites watched as the ground opened up like a mouth and swallowed them, their families, their tents, and all their servants and animals. It was you, not your children, who saw all the great things the Lord did. So, you must obey every command I tell you today. Then you will be strong, and you will be able to go across the Jordan River and take the land that you are ready to enter. Then you will live a long life in that country. The Lord promised to give that land to your ancestors and all their descendants. It is a land filled with many good things. The land that you will get is not like the land of Egypt that you came from. In Egypt, you planted your seeds and used your feet to pump water from the canals to water your fields like a vegetable garden. But the land you will soon get is not like that. In Israel, there are mountains and valleys, and the land gets its water from the rain that falls from the sky. The Lord your God cares for that land. The Lord your God watches over it from the beginning to the end of the year. The Lord says,
Listen carefully to the commands I give you today. Love the Lord your God and serve him with all your heart and all your soul. If you do that, I will send rain for your land at the right time. I will send the autumn rain and the spring rain. Then you can gather your grain, your new wine, and your oil. I will make grass grow in your fields for your cattle. You will have plenty to eat. Be careful. Don't be fooled. Don't turn away from me to serve other gods and to bow down to them.
Moses continues, if you do that, the Lord will become very angry with you. He will shut the skies, and there will be no rain. The land will not make a harvest, and you will soon die in the good land that the Lord is giving you. Remember these commands I give you. Keep them in your hearts, write them down, and tie them on your hands, and wear them on your foreheads as a way to remember my laws. Teach them to your children. Talk about these things when you sit in your house and when you walk along the road. Talk about them when you lie down and when you get up. Write these commands on the doorposts of your houses and on your gates. Then both you and your children will live a long time in the land that the Lord promised to give to your ancestors. You will live there as long as the skies are above the earth. Be careful to obey every command I have told you to follow. Love the Lord your God, follow all his ways, and be faithful to him. Then, when you go into the land, the Lord will force all those other nations out. You will take the land from nations that are larger and more powerful than you. Wherever you go, the land will be yours, from the desert in the south, all the way to Lebanon in the north, and from the Euphrates River in the east, all the way to the sea in the west. No one will be able to stand against you. The Lord your God will make the people fear you. Wherever you go in that land, that is what he promised you before. Israel's choice, blessings or curses. Moses continues, today, I'm giving you a choice. You may choose the blessing or the curse. You will get the blessing if you listen and obey the commands of the Lord your God that I have told you today. But you will get the curse if you refuse to listen and obey the commands of the Lord your God. So don't stop living the way I command you today, and don't follow other gods that you don't know. The Lord your God will lead you to your land. You will soon go in and take that land. At that time, you must go to the top of Mount Gerizim and read the blessings to the people from there. And then you must go to the top of Mount Ebal and read the curses to the people from there. These mountains are on the other side of the Jordan River, in the land of the Canaanites living in the Jordan Valley. These mountains are towards the west, not far from the oak trees of Moreh, near the town of Gilgal. You will go across the Jordan River. You will take the land that the Lord your God is giving you. This land will belong to you when you are living in this land. You must carefully obey all the laws and rules I give you today. Deuteronomy 12, the place for worshiping God. Moses continues his letter to the Israelites. These are the laws and rules that you must obey in your new land. You must carefully obey them as long as you live. The Lord is the God of your ancestors, and He is giving that land to you. You will take that land from the nations that live there now. You must completely destroy all the places where the people of those nations worship their gods. Those places are on high mountains, on hills, and under green trees. You must smash their altars and break their sacred stones into pieces. You must burn their Asherah poles and cut down the statues of their gods. Wipe out everything that would remind you of those gods. You must not worship the Lord your God in the same way those people worship their gods. The Lord your God will choose a special place among all your tribes to live. That is where He will be present with you. You must go to that place to worship Him. There you must bring your burnt offerings, your sacrifices, 1/10 of your crops and animals, your special gifts, any gifts you promised to Him, any special gift you want to give, and the first animals born in your herds and flocks. You and your families will eat together at that place, and the Lord your God will be there with you. You will enjoy sharing the things you worked for, because the Lord your God has blessed you. You must not continue to worship the way we have been worshiping. Until now, everyone has been worshiping God any way they wanted. That's because you have not yet entered the peaceful land that the Lord your God is giving you. You will go across the Jordan River and live in the land that the Lord your God is giving you. There He will give you rest from all your enemies, and you will be safe. Then you must come to the place the Lord your God will choose to live among you. That is where He will be present with you. You must bring everything I command you to that place. Bring your burnt offerings, your sacrifices, 1/10 of your crops and animals, your special gifts, and any gifts that you promise to give to the Lord. Come to that place with all your people, your children, all your servants, and the Levites living in your towns. These Levites will not have a share of the land for their own. Enjoy yourselves together there with the Lord your God. Be sure you don't offer your burnt offerings in just any place you see. The Lord will choose His special place among your tribes. Offer your burnt offerings and do everything else I told you only in that place. Whenever you want to eat meat, you can enjoy that blessing from the Lord your God wherever you live. You can butcher the animal just as you do gazelles and deer, and anyone, clean or unclean, can eat it. But you must not eat the blood. You must pour the blood on the ground like water. Also, the things you are offering to God must not be eaten where you live. These include the part of your grain that belongs to God, the part of your new wine and oil that belongs to God, the first animals born in your herd or flock, and any gift that you promise to God, any special gifts you want to give, or any other gifts for God. You must eat these offerings only in His presence, at the special place that the Lord your God will choose. You must go there and eat together with your sons, your daughters, all your servants, and the Levites living in your towns. Enjoy yourselves there with the Lord your God. Enjoy what you have worked for. But be sure that you always share these meals with the Levites. Do this as long as you live in your land. The Lord your God promised to make your country larger. When He does this, you might live too far from the place for worship, where the Lord your God has chosen to be present among you. If it is too far, and you are hungry for meat, you may eat any meat you have. You may kill any animal from the herd or flock that He has given you. Do this in the way I have commanded you. You may eat this meat any time in the place where you are living. You may eat this meat the same as you would eat gazelle or deer meat. Anyone can do this, people who are clean and people who are unclean. But be especially careful not to eat the blood, because the life is in the blood. You must not eat meat that still has its life in it. Don't eat the blood. Pour it out like water onto the ground. So don't eat blood. You must do what the Lord says is right, and good things will happen to you and to your descendants. If you decide to give something special to God, you must go to the special place that the Lord your God will choose. And if you make a special promise, you must go to that place to give that gift to God. You must offer your burnt offerings in that place. Offer the meat and the blood of your burnt offerings on the altar of the Lord your God. For your other sacrifices, you must pour the blood on the altar of the Lord your God. Then you may eat the meat. Carefully obey all the commands that I give you. When you do what is good and right, what pleases the Lord your God, then everything will go well for you and your descendants forever. You are going to take your land from other people. The Lord your God will destroy these people for you. You will force them out of that land, and then you will live there. But be careful that you don't fall into the same trap they did. Don't go to their false gods for help. Don't say to yourself, they worship these gods, so I will worship them too. Don't do that to the Lord your God. These people do all kinds of disgusting things that the Lord hates. They even burn their children as sacrifices to their gods. You must be careful to do everything I command you. Don't add anything to what I tell you, and don't take anything away.
Luke chapter 12, verses 35 to 59. Jesus is speaking to the crowds. Be ready, be fully dressed, and have your lights shining. Be like servants who are waiting for their master to come home from a wedding party. When the master comes and knocks, the servants immediately open the door for him. When their master sees that they are ready and waiting for him, it will be a happy day for those servants. I can tell you without a doubt, the master will get himself ready to serve a meal and tell the servants to sit down. Then he will serve them. Those servants might have to wait until midnight or later for their master, but they will be glad they did when he comes in and finds them still waiting. What would a homeowner do if he knew when a thief was coming? You know he would not let that thief break in. So you also must be ready, because the Son of Man will come at a time when you don't expect him. Peter said,
Lord, did you tell this story for us or for all people?
The Lord said, imagine a servant whose master puts him in charge of giving his other servants their food at the right time. Who is the servant that the master trusts to do that work? When the master comes and finds him doing the work he gave him, that day will be a happy one for that servant. I can tell you without a doubt, the master will choose that servant to take care of everything he owns. But what will happen if that servant is a bad person and thinks his master will not come back soon? He will start beating the other servants, men and women. He will eat and drink until he has had too much. Then the master will come at an unexpected time when the servant is not ready. The master will punish that servant severely and send him to join the other servants who don't obey. That servant knew what his master wanted him to do, but he did not make himself ready or tried to do what his master wanted. So that servant will be punished very much. But what about the servant who does not know what his master wants? He also does things that deserve punishment. But he will get less punishment than the servant who knew what he should do. Whoever has been given much will be responsible for much. Much more will be expected from the one who has been given more. Jesus continued speaking. I came to bring fire to the world. I wish it were already burning. There is a kind of baptism that I must suffer through, and I feel very troubled until it is finished. Do you think I came to give peace to the world? No, I came to divide the world. From now on, a family of 5 will be divided, 3 against 2, and 2 against 3. Fathers will turn against their sons, and sons against their fathers. Mothers will turn against their daughters, and daughters against their mothers. Mothers-in-law will turn against their daughters-in-law, and daughters-in-law against their mothers-in-law. Then Jesus said to the people, when you see clouds growing bigger in the west, you say,
a storm is coming.
And soon it begins to rain. When you feel the wind begin to blow from the south, you say,
it will be a hot day.
And you are right. You hypocrites, you can look at the earth and sky and know what the weather will be. Why can't you understand what is happening now? Why can't you decide for yourselves what is right? Suppose someone is suing you and you are both going to court. Try hard to settle it on the way. If you don't settle it, they may drag you before the judge, and the judge will hand you over to the officer who will throw you into jail. I tell you, you will not get out of there until you have paid every cent you owe. Psalm 43, verses 1 through 5. Bring justice to me, God. Defend me against this nation that has broken its agreement. Save me from these evil liars. God, you are my place of safety. Why have you turned me away? Why must I suffer this sadness that my enemies have brought me? Send your light and your truth to guide me and lead me to your holy mountain, to your home. I want to go to God's altar, to the God who makes me so very happy. God, my God, I want to play my harp and sing praises to you. Why am I so sad? Why am I so upset? I tell myself, wait for God's help. You will again have a chance to praise Him, your God, the one who will save you. Thank you, everyone. That was day 99. Join us for the 100th episode. In Deuteronomy 13, there is a warning to not serve other gods. And in chapter 14, we list the food that the Israelites are allowed to eat and how they must give 1/10 of all the crops that grow in the fields. And in the book of Luke, Jesus gets word from the people about what happened to some worshipers in Galilee, that Pilate had ordered them to be killed, and that their blood was mixed with the blood of animals they had brought for sacrificing. You'll have to join us to hear how Jesus responds to this news. And then he explains how difficult it is to enter God's kingdom. We hope you enjoyed today's verses. Be sure to leave us a positive review and to share this podcast with your friends and family. Please join us for the next episode as we experience the Bible in 1 year.
Did you know we offer online courses in creative writing, literature, and web design? Visit us at storymaster.online to learn more.